y'all, this is Millie, and I am doing the accent tag challenge thing. Um, I have my computer all a little bit weird. I'm trying to see the words here. I think this is really awesome. I think it's great to hear how different people pronounce different things and how it changes in different parts of the world. So here we go. I'm going to try really hard for this whole video to speak in my native Northern Mississippi accent. Excuse me. This is actually kind of hard for me because I learned at a very young age that the thicker the Southern dialect with which you speak, the dumber people think you are. Even among other Southern people, I have noticed that if your accent is very heavy and very thick, people tend to assume that maybe you're not really just stupid, but maybe you just didn't have as high of an education as some other people. So I learned when I was very young to just drop my accent out and speak with a very neutral accent. Congratulations, YouTube. Y'all get to hear my regular normal voice, which is usually reserved only for when I visit family, when I'm really agitated about something. There's a Southern word for you, agitated. Or if I'm kind of drunk. It might come out then too. So here are the words. Let me move this a little bit. The words are ain't. This is one of your parents' siblings, like my mother's sisters or my Aunt Rita and my Aunt Pam, for example. Ain't. Roof, route, or route. Sometimes that changes. I'm more liable to say route when I'm given an address. Actually, rural route number whatever used to be very, very common home addresses for people. Then we got the 911 numbers with county road, blah, blah, blah. So, people don't really say, you know, I live on route blah anymore. They'll have their county road, da-da-da-da. So that's changed. People don't say that as much. Wash, oil, that's the greasy stuff you cook with, olive oil, vegetable oil. Theater, iron, what you use to press clothes with, iron, salmon, caramel, fire, water, sure, data, ruin. Ruin is how it's spelled, but most people where I'm from don't pronounce it that way. If your milk is spoiled, it's ruined. If you're messing something up or your little brother's annoying you and, you know, you say you're just gonna ruin everything. That's how it is. Crayon, but I would never say crayon. We just call them colors. You get your coloring book and you get your colors. And I was very proud of my 96 box of colors. They were mine. So I would never really say crayon when I was at home. New Orleans, pecan, both, again, probably, spitting image, Alabama, lawyer, coupon, mayonnaise, syrup, pajamas, and caught. And the questions. What's it called when you throw toilet paper on a house? We would call that rolling a house. You roll a house. But we would more likely say we're going to go roll somebody's yard. It's a lot more fun to roll somebody's yard than to roll their house, especially if they got lots of trees, lots of bushes, and all that kind of stuff. You roll their house, pretty much all you can do is throw toilet paper over the roof, and if it gets stuck, well, then you can't do it anymore. So, what is the bug that when you touch it, it curls into a ball? We would call that a pill bug or a roly-poly. What is the bubbly carbonated drink called? We would call that a Coke, regardless of the flavor. So if, you know, You would say, somebody would ask you what you want to drink, and you'd say a Coke. And you say that as opposed to tea or coffee or water. So if you say you want a Coke, they'd usually either tell you where they were or ask you what kind you wanted or tell you what kind they had. My daddy also uses soda water or soda water, but that's not how he says it. He says soda water, and that's what he means is some kind of fizzy drink, a Coke. But I would say I want a Coke, and I mean whatever kind of carbonated whatever there is. I'm not picky, though. What do you call gym shoes? We would call them tennis shoes. Kind of like tennis shoes, but you don't really say it that way. It's tennis shoes. What do you say to address a group of people? We would say, hey, y'all. And see, a lot of people want to talk about all y'all, but all y'all is really something that you use when you want to make sure everybody knows that everybody there is included. You'll hear all y'all a lot when somebody's hot, when they're mad, Like they would be like, and all y'all were here too, So all y'all responsible or all y'all whatever. Or if you want to make double sure that everybody knows that everybody there is invited. It's like, y'all are invited to my birthday party, and I mean all y'all are. So, what do you call the kind of spider or spider-like creature that has an oval-shaped body and extremely long legs? You would call that a daddy long legs. What do you call your grandparents? All of my grandparents, all four of them, were either Mama or Papa. And not only my biological grandparents, but also family friends of that general age were also Mama and Papa. What do you call the wheeled contraption in which you carry groceries at the supermarket? As has been pointed out in another video done by someone from Mississippi, we would never say supermarket. That's not a word that we use in the part of Mississippi that I'm from. You would say grocery store, or you would use the name of the store. You would say, I'm going to Jitney Jungle, or I'm going to Piggly Wiggly, or I'm going to Walmart. But we call that thing a buggy. What do you call it when the rain falls while the sun is shining? Now, we didn't really have an exact term for this. I didn't hear the phrase, the devil's beating his wife, until I was much older. But when I was young, my papa, my mom's father, would tell me that if it rained and the sun was shining, that meant that it would rain the same time the next day. But we didn't have an actual term for it. What is the thing you change the TV channel with? Well, currently we call that a remote. You will notice the R-E in front of remote is very short sound, remote. We also called it, over the course of using the thing at, my parents' house when I lived at home, we called it a clicker sometimes. We called it a channel changer most frequently. That's what my parents say now, as they ask for the channel changer. But believe it or not, I am old enough that when I was a kid, I was the channel changer. So I had to get up, turn knobs on TV so you could watch television. I hope y'all have enjoyed this. I think I've done a pretty good job staying out of my neutral accent in my real accent. And if you're watching this, you're tagged. There you go. Oh, turned it off.